this button on. There we go. All right. All right. Okay. I'm so excited to finally be back doing the show. I'm a little rusty. It has been a minute. It's been a while since I've been on here, and I just like jumped right in. I barely checked my settings to see if everything was working properly. So you guys bear with me tonight, but you know what? Sometimes that's what you have to do. You just have to just jump right in and go right to it. I'm excited about a couple of things. First of all, I want to say thank you to Candy Jen for my new mirror. Thank you, Candy Jen. Oh my gosh. This mirror is like everything. Like, it's look at there. Oh my gosh, it's like glistening a little bit in the light too. Yes. And then like when you look in the mirror, it says, hey, you're the superhero. You are the superhero. Yes. There's the front of it. Really cool. Bam, smash, zap, and you are the hero. Love it. Anyway, so I want to say thank you, Candy Jen. Thank you, darling, for my mirror. You guys go ahead and invite people to come on into the Zoom room. Share this post if you can. Hopefully you can. Let's see. No. How do I add people? Oh, there we go. Add some people. Add some people. No, that's not how you add people. Anyway. Oh, wait. There it is. You guys be sure to invite some people to come in and join us in the Zoom room. And I'm super excited because, like I said, we're just going to jump right into it. Excited that I put out there if anyone wanted to be a guest. And I guess people are really shy. I don't know why people are shy. You might as well toot your own horn, because if you don't toot your own horn, then who else will? No one. No one will toot your horn for you if you don't toot it for yourself sometimes. Maybe sometimes people will. Hey, Susan Moody, how are you? Come on into the Zoom room so that you can actually see the video where we're at and everything. But anyway, I just wanted to get right into who our guest is for tonight. I'm super excited. I actually got an opportunity to meet her in person. And I'm like, wow. It was just by chance that she was going to be in the city here. And she said, hey, let's meet up. And so she came to New Jersey and we did a meetup. And so I'm super excited about that. So our guest tonight is a multidisciplinary performing and visual artist, along with face and body painting. Some of her other art mediums are playing the harp, fine jewelry making, stained glass mosaics, and poetry. Like a chef, she selects each art ingredient to complement and bring out the best in the others. She studied metals at the School of Museum of Fine Arts, Boston, and Fine Art at the North Bennet Street School. She regularly attends face and body painting workshops and conferences and studies with master face painters to gain knowledge of new techniques and face design and new face paint. She exhibits and performances include the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, the Museum of the National Center of African American Artists, the Arsenal Center for the Arts, and the Artists Foundation. She teaches performance and visual art to children and adults using fun ways to link art with preventive healthcare, parenting skills, literacy, math, and social studies for a balanced educational experience and healing from trauma. You guys, join me in welcoming my very special guest, none other than the beautiful and talented Miss Radiant Jasmine. Hey girl, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Super excited. Okay, wait, we gotta see. You guys come to the Zoom room if you can. I know some people are a little nervous about joining into Zoom, but you should come on over to the Zoom room because then you get a better view than what I'm showing you on this Facebook Live. But anyway, thank you for agreeing to be a guest on my show tonight, and you are absolutely radiant tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm still glowing from playing harp at my girlfriend Amatul's wedding on Saturday. It was a beautiful wedding up in Vermont. So, getting to play harp for somebody. We went to the School of the Museum of Fine Arts together studying art. So having a friendship that's lasted, 30 plus years is amazing. So
Wow, awesome. I was just so inspired and impressed by the fact that you play the harp. Like I've never met a harpist in person as a friend before. I think that's absolutely fascinating. How long have you been playing the harp?
It's a new addition to my artistic, medium. So a little over 2 years.
Yeah. Has it been that long since we met? Because I know we met, you had just recently gotten a harp, or
Um,
not?
yeah, it was still pretty new. It was still pretty new, but gosh, I guess that time really just flies by quickly.
Yes, yes, it sure does. It sure does. And it was just such a great experience meeting you. It was like we were old friends and we had been chitting and chatting forever. So, so tell us about so you play the harp. Tell us about your face painting and how long have you been doing that?
Been face painting for about 22 years, and a girlfriend of mine. Yeah, it's. I always go back to how old my daughter was, and she was just a little, peanut
Mhm.
when I started face painting, and my girlfriend Carmen Powell, pulled me in and started to train me, and we were doing big festivals right off the bat,
Mhm.
like, yeah, really big hours long events. So just got training like by fire, basically. And have had stops and starts along the way because of all my different artistic mediums. I've just often work in one for a year, or work on do more performance for a while, and sometimes I'm painting murals, more than face paint. But picked it back up after I especially started to realize what we really could earn from it.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Became more interested, and I also was painting myself during live performances, body paint, and adding that in. So I had been doing that for a while I recited my poetry. Sometimes I would paint myself, or somebody else in my performance would actually paint me while I was reciting my poetry or singing and dancing. So that is always like a really exciting addition, to a performance, to be painted live. And then generally I wear like white clothing or light colored clothing when I do that. So then I can save whatever the clothing is, and it
Mhm.
is on that. So I have something to remember that performance by.
That's awesome. So you also dance as well?
I do.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You're just an all-around artist. So you've been painting for 22 years. So in all that time, that means that you've seen a lot of changes in the industry, and I'm more than sure you've seen the face paint, the types of face paint that we use change over the years. Um, what has been the most positive change that you've seen in the face painting community?
I think for me, like a lot of the sharing in the forums and online about our techniques, and like what we charge, what our rates are for different regions.
Right.
That for me was a real eye opener, because I really didn't know what a professional face painter earned for a long time.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, being able to see that kind of stuff, like that, we just share so much online. And some different industries keep a lot of things quiet. There's secrets, trade secrets, and things that are not shared. And it just really warms my heart how we're able to share a lot with each other.
Right. That is true. Who inspires you as an artist?
um, Face
Or
painter.
who inspires you or what inspires you as an artist? As a
um,
visual artist, as a face painter, as a performance artist?
well, what nature really inspires me, that's a big thing for me, is as I have a real connection with nature, the plants and flowers, named after a flower. So flowers and animals and sunsets, just that's one of my biggest inspiration. And just trying to do my best to sometimes make either copies or my interpretation of what Mother Nature has created.
Mhm.
My homage to the beauty.
Do you feel like you have discovered your style as an artist in all this time? I mean, you've been painting for a while. Do you feel like you have a unique style that sets you apart?
I do. I do feel like I've developed a style that is mine, and I definitely, I'm not named Radiant Jasmine for nothing. So I I love
I love
bright.
your name. I think it's so amazing.
Thank you. I love bright colors, vibrant
Mhm.
colors, and I feel like there's enough in the world that's already kind of, depressive and depressing and kind of sad. So
Okay.
for me, using colors to help bring joy into the world is really important for me. With my face painting, I do a lot of really fine line work,
Mhm.
scroll work,
Okay.
and that comes into to also my mural work.
Okay.
I do, even when I'm teaching my students, I often take them through a lot of lessons of how to get, really, really fine line work, and teaching them how to care for their brushes,
Okay.
so that I love, fine line work.
Well, I
That's
definitely need that class on fine line work. I feel like it's just now clicking for me. I think I'm in my fifth year of painting, and now it's starting to click, and now I'm starting to understand my brushes more. You were just talking about taking care of your brushes and those type of things. What tips would you give to artists about taking care of your brushes? Because I know our brushes are our main tool for our industry. What advice do you have, or what tip would you share?
Try to clean them out as soon as you can after you use them, especially after doing a big event. It's easier to clean out, a whole big bunch of brushes before your paint dries up on your brushes. Store them in a really good brush carrier so that your tips don't get bent up. Store them with your points, your bristles upward. Um, so those are really important things, to do with your brushes.
Okay, all right. And what do you attend any of the conventions? I saw in your bio that you said you look forward to, or you really enjoy going to conferences and workshops. What are some of the conferences or face painting workshops or anything like that that you attend or have attended that you really enjoy?
I attended the East Coast Face Paint Convention a few years ago, and that was a blast.
Okay.
And got to meet a lot of face painters that I had only known online, that it was similar to you, had been friends with on Facebook for a while, and got to meet them in person, and got to take, you know, have Mark Reed actually use me as a model, to demonstrate a design, and that was really exciting.
Mhm.
Just earlier this month, got to attend a face painting workshop. Nick Wolf here in Massachusetts, he came, and
Mhm.
Kim Chaston of Fancy Faces, organized that, and that was great to be able to hang out with him for the day. I had never met him before, taken a workshop, so it was good. And a lot of the designs that he was demoing for us were designs that, not only are only for boys, because of course anybody can wear the designs, but designs that often a lot of boys, more so request. So that was good, because I'm often painting much more, my scrolls and flowers and rainbows and all that kind of stuff. So that was really important for me, and I'm looking forward to practicing some more of those.
Awesome. What's your favorite design to paint?
Oh, um, gosh, I can't say I necessarily have a favorite design,
Mhm.
but because I like line work and fancy scroll kind of work, doing like, fancy eye designs,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Okay, all right. So now I didn't ask you this at the beginning. I don't know if I said in the bio, but it kind of implied. But tell everyone where you're from. What area are you from?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Several generations of my family from Boston, Massachusetts. That is where I reside.
So does that mean you're a Boston Red Sox fan?
I actually don't have a Boston accent because my grandmother purposely told us you'd actually get smacked if you talked with a Boston accent. She was a Bostonian, but she did not believe that, in her belief, it was very low class to speak with a Boston accent. So
okay.
we were not allowed.
Okay. So you're not a sports fan, I take it.
And I'm not I'm a sports fan, but I'm not a sports fan of the big team sports.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for a Bostonian, that's pretty unusual. I'm more like, I love gymnastics. So when the Olympics come on, then my family knows, and like the TV's mine, like, because I want to watch track and field and gymnastics and ice skating and, some of the
Right. I love
that's what I watch. So
right.
I think it has to do with me being an artist, so.
Yes, those are some of my favorite sports as well. And it's interesting that you said that because there's a little girl that lives over here, and you could tell that she's a future gymnastic. She's outside every day, or you see her inside her house practicing, and her mother has her one of those barbell things or whatever you call it, the bars that she practices on. And that little girl, she's about maybe 5 or 6, and she practices every day.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and you've seen where I live. So in the courtyard, she's out there today. She had her mat, and she was out there doing her poses, and she didn't care. All her friends were walking by, and she was practicing. I'm like, oh, girl.
That's great when you're able to, have a parent who's supportive, of whether it's sports or art or whatever vocation that you want to do, as a child. That's really important.
Now, from a business perspective, what advice would you have for painters or face painters who are trying to build their brand, grow their business, and find their target customers? Do you have any advice or suggestions?
One thing I'd say is stick to your professional prices.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot of people, of course, who are asking you to donate your services or or cut your prices down. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't volunteer sometime. We all have causes that are dear to our hearts.
Right, exactly.
That, we want to give back to, our community in some way or another. My give back is generally the work that I do in the schools. Even though I'm being paid for it, I give so much extra time to my residencies that's my time that I give. So when people then come and ask me to donate for face painting, like I've already given, given my time to my schools. So, and stick to that, because word gets around. You give a price reduction to one organization or one person or whatever, and then before you know it, gets around, and they're like, oh, well, you charged so and so this price. Why won't you do it for me? So I stick to my prices, and I think it's pretty well known at this point. Because people sometimes come to me and they're like, oh, well, we're not sure if we can afford you or not. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, the word then must be getting around that I have professional level pricing.
Right, exactly. And it's so fascinating how giving a discount or a low rate, that will travel faster than, hey, this person is a professional and they do a great job and here's their full rate. It's amazing how people, they somehow don't hear the full rate. They only hear when there was a discount or you gave someone a deal or did something for free. You're so right about that. What was I going to ask you? Oh, it almost made me forget what I was going to ask you just then. Okay, real quick, tell everybody how they can find you, what social media platforms are you on, how can they book you, those type of things.
I am on Facebook, Radiant Jasmine, so you can I have a business page. Radiant.Jasmine on Instagram, and that's RADIANT JASMIN. Actually, there's no E on the end. I'm on also, I have YouTube, so there's just some of my performance videos, again, Radiant Jasmine. And of course, my website, radiantjasmine.com.
Oh, now I just remember that made me remember what I was going to ask you about. You also said that you do murals as well. How are there any particular murals that you've done that really stand out that are in the city somewhere that you've done, or are there some favorites that you've done before?
Yes, one of my favorites is titled Dolphin Splash, and that's at Children's Hospital Boston.
Mhm.
And that's a mixed media mural, so that's like 8 feet long by 6 feet tall. And it shows like dolphins that are jumping out the water and coming in the other side. And the board is like cut and shaped like water splashed, and the dolphins are cut, some of them individually above the big mural. And it's a beautiful mural. I love it very much.
Right.
Also, um, I work in stained glass mosaics, and so I mosaicked some columns, like 7 foot tall columned archway
Mhm.
at Canton High School.
Mhm.
I created that with my students, and that's a beautiful piece. And I just recently went to go check it out. I'm really about technique, and I want my artwork to last. So that mural, the mosaic one, I created 6 years ago. Checked it out in July, and it's still intact. So, and it's
Okay.
outside, and it's an exterior mural. So
Mhm.
because we have such extreme temperature
Right.
fluctuations here in the Northeast, I need to make sure that all my materials for anything that's outside is going to last through, these super hot summers to,
Right.
or, below freezing, winters.
Right. And you just reminded me, I forgot I was supposed to submit a drawing because I forgot. I had the opportunity to do a um, they did a project in Newark called the Water Basin Project, and where they had artists volunteer to paint like on the catch basins, like where the water goes into the sewer or whatever. And
Oh,
they
wow.
yeah, they had us paint. They had different artists paint catch basins with designs, and I think mine, not I think I know, mine was an octopus is what I did, and it was keep the water clean, don't put trash in.
Oh,
And so they just reached out to me again to do another one, and I was like, oh wait, I was supposed to submit that yesterday. Oh. And you just reminded me when you said dolphins, 'cause it's supposed to be something about water and water animals. So yeah, but and I did that. I need to go back and check to see if the medium stayed on the sidewalk because they had us use spray paint. I don't know how long that lasts
hmm.
with the spray paint. So I'll have to go check it out. And it was last year when I did it. So I'll go by and see if it's still there. But that was fascinating to be able to do that. So now when someone contacts you to do a mural, do they come up with the idea or you present to them an idea? And how long does something like that take, like on the side of a building or something like that? You said 8 feet tall, the one you did?
That one was 8 feet long by 6 feet high. Um, Often I'm working in conjunction with, with whoever my client is, or it's a collaboration. So a lot of my murals I've created have actually been for schools,
Okay.
where I'm a teaching artist and I'm working with the students, and
Good.
teaching them the techniques,
Hmm.
and we're actually coming up with the design together, as a group. Because a lot of my work as a social activist artist is helping my students who are primarily Black youth and Latino youth who have had their art programs taken out of the schools,
Hmm.
or really the art programs reduced, so they have very little art. And sometimes I'm either the only artist in the school, or I'm really helping to fill out a small art program in a public school. So being able to help give them a voice is
Hmm.
really important for me. Teaching them design skills is very important for me, um, so that they can learn how to be makers.
Right.
I'm a maker, so making sure that our youth still know how to make things is
Mhm.
very important for me, that they're not just going and buying and consuming what other people create.
Mhm.
So, the murals are often, so one that I created at the Edward M. Kennedy Academy for Health Careers, for example, each panel like had a different theme, and some of the things that the students put in One student chose Bob Marley, and she painted Bob Marley and had a quote from one of his songs. Another student wanted to pick Lauryn Hill and had a quote from her song. Students, we translated different sayings like into different languages, since a lot of my students come from various different cultural backgrounds. You know, they're immigrants. A lot of them are from the Caribbean or from Africa, you know, from Asia. So that was really important, in having their voice in this mural was also having the voice of their ancestral homeland, their language that they speak at home, you know, included in the mural, which was very, very special to a lot of them.
Okay, all right. So now, before we let you get out of here, is there anything that I didn't cover that you want to talk about, or is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I'll give a shout out to the Black Girls Paint Group and
Hey, Black Girls Paint Group, where y'all at? Where they at? Where are they? Where are they?
So yeah, give them a shout out, and let's see what else. I'll just very, very quickly, you know, a project that I'm working on, as you're asking about murals, is I'm proposing to do actually my largest public art piece in stained glass mosaics on the street that I lived on for 14 years of my life, Columbia Road, which is a big main artery right through basically like the Black community here in Boston. It's like one of our largest streets, and they have these big cement planters in the middle of the street, like the median. And they're beautiful in the summer. The city plants beautiful foliage and flowers, and in the cold season they're just these huge big planters, cement in the middle of the street. So I'm proposing to mosaic them, 12 of them. It's going to be a project, yeah, that will take probably between 2 and 3 years to complete. The commissioner of the Boston Public, the Parks and Recs Department, gave his okay for it. So that was waiting for that. And I'm a finalist, you know, waiting to hear back about a grant. So this will be the largest project that I will have worked on. And yeah.
That sounds awesome, and we wish you all the best on getting your grant and getting that project done. That is probably going to be outstanding. And then doing something like that, it's so much satisfaction because you will be able to drive by there and see your work on those beautiful planters throughout the city. So I'm believing that that's going to happen for you. I think it will. You just have so much positive energy, and I just see this positive light around you. So I just believe that anything that you put out there, you'll be able to accomplish.
Thanks, Dee. You're always so encouraging of me, and I love that about you. You know, you're encouraging me. You encourage other artists, and when I met you in person, I was like, okay, in person, you really are like how you are like online. Like some people have the online, you know, persona and presence, and then they have something else in person.
Right.
Which is okay for some people if it's not really phony, but you know what I'm saying? But I met you and it was like, oh, okay, it's really you. Like, you know.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel bad. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you being my first guest on the Beauty, Body, and Art After Dark Reboot show. Yay!
Yay!
So much, and we look forward to seeing so much more from you and seeing your work. And please, if you get a chance, share in the Beauty, Body, and Art After Dark group some of your pictures of your murals. So you can see some of the other things that you do. And you guys, be sure to go check her out on YouTube, so that you can see her other work that she does. She says she's a dancer and a harpist. She's a harpist, you guys. Literally, she's a harpist. No, I mean, just look at her. She just looks like, can't you just see her playing the harp? What if someone wants to book you to come and play the harp at their wedding or their baby shower or anything like that? What do they need to do?
It's best to give me a call. I'm a real phone person. I really am. I'm real verbal. That's like, you know, I love talking and I love speaking to people, and as being a musician, I love hearing people's voices. Mm-hmm. And so calling me 617-319-9778, calls only, no texts, mm-hmm. Is the best way. But, you know, you can also, you know, send me a message through Facebook, and then I'm just going to give you my phone number and say, give me a call. So, but you know,
honey, yeah, she's like, let's talk on the phone. Have a conversation, communicate. We don't do that enough anymore.
And then you know, and then we deal with all the rest, contracts and agreements and all that through you know, email and PayPal and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I'm appreciative of the wonderful technology we have with computers. And I can remember back, of course, in the days, you know, those of us, you know, we're old enough to remember before we had, you know, all of this personal computers and cell phones. And at that point, it was just science fiction to us, you know, watching Star Trek with the little flip, you know, communicators. And now we have it. Like who'd have thought in our lifetime we'd be able to communicate, like, you know, live with via video. I'm like, wow.
Yes. We've come a long way, and we have so much further to go. Sometimes the technology is setting us back, but it's a necessary evil, and you know, to a certain extent. But anyway, thank you again, Radiant Jasmine.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't ask you, like, what is the name of your business?
Radiant Creations.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much. And hopefully you can hang out with us for the Paint Me Quick Challenge. We're getting ready to do a Paint Me Quick Challenge really quickly.
Is that right?
And I want to say thank you to those who have joined us in the Zoom room. If you're ready to paint, you can turn your cameras on now. Now's the time to turn your cameras on, because I'm not going to be painting by myself. And if I don't get anybody to participate, then we're not going to do the Paint Me Quick Challenge, which is sad because
people get paint.
Yeah. People ask for the Paint Me Quick Challenge, but they're not here. So if you want to paint alone, grab your paints. Now is the time.
Okay, I got to go get my paint.
Okay, grab your paints, grab a board, whatever it is that you're going to be painting on. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, now is the time to come on over to the Zoom room. It's time for the Paint Me Quick Challenge. It's time for the Paint Me Quick Challenge. It's time. Hey, it's time for the paint. So you gotta get your paint, get your water, get your brushes, and Paige is ready, baby. Paige is like, come on, bring it out.
I've been coloring.
Like, you over there practicing?
Look, I've been working on my coloring book.
Wow. It's time for the Paint Me Quick Challenge. You guys come on over to the Zoom room and paint the Paint Me Quick Challenge. And it's not something that you can do on just by watching. You got to come in and be a part of it. So click the link, come on into the Zoom room, get your paints, get your brushes, get your little practice sheets, so you can paint on your face, you can paint on your arm, your leg, whatever you want to paint on, you can paint on it. And it's just for fun. You know, we'll just have a little fun really quickly. So you guys come on over. And I hope my Zoom doesn't shut down. Okay. All right. Nice little designs in the little box here. Some nice little designs in the box. And hey, guess what? You don't have to be a face painter to participate in this. This can be something fun to do. If you want to just try your hand at drawing, if you don't have paint, just get a marker, pencil, and some paper, and just try your best to see what you can come up with on this Paint Me Quick Challenge. The link is in the chat here. Let's see, the link is here in the chat. If you scroll up to the top of the chat, you'll see the link for the Zoom room. You can come on into the Zoom room. Colette, hey, Christina's watching. Colette says she's on the train. She's going home, on her way home. Be careful, be safe, keep your eyes open. There's a lot of crazy people out there, okay? Hey, Jen, how are you doing? Taretha was watching. Susan was watching. Just waiting for everybody to get their paint, And we got somebody low riding here. I don't know who this is. Hey, Galaxy S8. Hi, Galaxy. Here, watch. All right, so we're gonna wait for Radiant to get her paints together. And we're gonna do our Paint Me Quick Challenge. Now, the goal of the Paint Me Quick Challenge is just we're gonna pull a design out of the box. I want to give a shout out to Teresa Johnson, who helped us come up with the Paint Me Quick Challenge. We did this. How long have we been doing Beauty Body and Art After Dark? 2-3 years. And this is one of her suggestions on how to improve your painting. It's the Paint Me Quick Challenge. Set a timer. We're going to do 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You got a timer, Paige? What are you doing?
3 minutes.
You got a timer over there for me? I need a timekeeper. Hey, Christina. All right. Okay, you guys. So everybody's ready this year. Christina, open up your camera. Galaxy S8, open up your camera, and let's get ready to paint. Or you can open up your camera once you paint your design. So what you're gonna do? We're gonna put 3 minutes. We're gonna do a 3-minute design. Paige is gonna be timekeeper for me. And once I pull out of here, you have 3 minutes to paint the design. Like I said, you paint on your face, paint on a board or your arm or wherever. And then when the time is up, then we're going to go through and everybody's going to show what they accomplished in that 3 minutes. Don't be embarrassed. It's just for fun. You don't have to feel like, oh my God, I suck at this or whatever. This is just a way to challenge you and to push you to be able to paint fast on the job, or to improve your fast on the job skills. Okay, here we go. And the first design, that's one of the old ones.
Are you cheating? You didn't like that one?
No, it wasn't that. It's just that. Okay, here we go. I don't even know what this is. Oh God.
Halloween something. No.
Halloween unicorn. A Halloween unicorn.
All right, am I starting the timer?
Yeah, start the timer.
Here we go.
Oh, unicorn. I don't even know what that looks like, but here we go. Some kid has just asked you for a Halloween unicorn. Okay, I got an idea. My board's not too wet. How do you get the color? Right click here on that. Come on, dry board, dry. Colette says she's on and off. Bad connection. Sorry, Colette. Yeah.
We got 1:45 left. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Now pick on these boards.
Oh, 25 seconds.
This wasn't very. It's got me thinking about what I can do next time, but.
I'm gonna use
10, 6. That's it. Time's up.
Brush this down. I'm proud of myself. I feel like it's oh, poor unicorn. Oh, poor unicorn. Okay. All right. Come on, Christina and Galaxy S8. Open up your cameras. Open up your cameras. All right. I'm going to go first. All right. All right. Here we go. There's mine.
Damn, girl, that was good for quick.
Yeah.
That was.
My unicorn has a pumpkin writing on its back. And this is, who was our instructor? Lenora. Lenora said you could just throw some spider webs on your whole.
Anything. Oh, I didn't even think. I should have did one of her designs.
So I threw a spider web on it.
Yep.
There we go. So that was mine. All right. Okay.
I like the one above her eye.
Huh?
I like the spider web above her eye. That's on point.
Yeah.
All right. It took me 30 seconds to load my brush, so.
All right, Paige. What? Wait. Oh.
He got beat up.
Okay. Wait. We got to. Is that the unicorn horn? What is that?
Oh, I forgot his damn horn. That's his ear.
Okay. Well, there you go. And there you have it.
I will not be doing that Sunday.
Don't do that. Oh, okay, ready?
All right. It's on my arm, so I'm going to have to like do this whole, you might not even be able to see it well. Oh, okay. Kind of upside down. Here we go. Okay. Unicorn face. And I tried to put greens and purples, but they were kind of too light, you know, like Halloween colors. Yeah, I was searching for my colors and.
Okay, you guys remember, you got to take a picture of your design before you erase it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to see it. Take a picture of your design before you erase it, and then we're going to have you guys post it in the group. All right, Galaxy S8. Did you paint? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh, that's so cute.
Now that's cute. And you know what? Radiant says she tried to use purples and whatever, and look, there it is, the purple. Let me guess, that's Joyce. Is that Joyce?
Was that supposed to be a yes?
I don't know who it is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, who is that?
It's Emily.
Emily! Oh, that's so cute. What? And then it's got like the little splatters and everything.
Yeah, that's really cute. So that's what I should have gone for instead of the white unicorn with purple and green mane. And
that is
like the green.
That's like a really good idea. Okay, save that. Make sure you take a picture of it and post it. Okay, Christina. Christina is. What is Christina doing? She's not able to do video. I guess she's just in here with us. Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh, that was good. That was real good. Okay, back to me. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get to the next design.
But we got to do this again?
Yes, we got to do one more. And maybe one more. Take a picture of your design before you erase it. Hey, Zuri. Zuri, get in this room with us. All right, here we go. What is this? Ooh. This is an easy one.
Ghost.
Oh, don't look at my nails. They're horrible. Ghost.
Oh, I'm cheating. All right, start.
Don't cheat. Okay, ready and go. Be creative. Don't just do regular ghost. Be creative. Ghost and go.
Oh, what are we doing? What was the?
A ghost. Ghost.
Oh, ghosts.
A ghost. Okay. Oh, did the Lord give a ghost? Course. That one's too far.
We got 1:35 left.
Ghost is, I mean, you know, you can just go like overboard with it, but a ghost is, you know. All right. Look here, kids. This is all you get.
Ugh, 45.
All right. I'm done. All you get. It's what you get, kiddo.
She's done ahead of time.
I know. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
You're done too?
No, that was me saying I was done. Is the time up yet?
14 seconds.
Oh, that's a long 3 minutes. All right.
3. Damn it.
And time. Okay, so we're gonna let Radiant go first. See what you came up with, girl. See what you came up with. Let's see, I think her video is frozen. Radiant, your video is frozen. Or did my thing freeze? Uh-oh, did I freeze? Oh, no. Paige, you still there? Mm-mm,